Okay, this video is about doing keyword research using a tool called KW Finder. So what you do to find a keyword is you would type in something related to what you think users are typing to find the kind of service that you're doing. And you want to pick a location where your target audience is. Um, I'll just say anywhere for the sake of argument. Well, maybe I'll do Canada actually to make it more specific. We'll do Canada, speaking English, and let's just type in social media marketing, because if someone's trying to look for Antenna Social, well, look for the services that we provide, they might type in social media marketing. So I click Find Keywords, and what happens is I get this awesome list. At the very top is the keyword that I typed in, social media marketing. It tells me how many monthly searches are happening in Canada, so there's quite a lot, 3,641. It tells me the cost per click that an average Google AdWord would be. So this gives me an idea of how much competition there is for that particular keyword in terms of other people placing AdWords using that keyword. So you can see at $13.41, that's quite high. And actually, if I scroll down the list, you'll see most of them are pretty high. $1.71 is pretty good, but it's broad. Social media is too broad. That's probably why not many people are competing for it. Level of competition in pay-per-click. So it just ranks from 0 to 100 on how difficult that is to get in a pay-per-click situation or a cost per click, which you can also get from the high cost here, $13.41, and 85 is a high score. So that's a difficult keyword to obtain in AdWords. So in this case, if you really wanted that keyword, you would run a place AdWords and bid high, spend the money to beat out your competition. So your budget would be quite high for that. It also provides this keyword SEO difficulty score. So this is something that this particular tool comes up with based on its own measuring tools. So 66 is quite high, and then you can see here's a chart and everything to tell you exactly what that is. So 66 out of 100, it's saying it's hard to get this keyword. And if you hover over it, it gives you all the different things. 9,200, don't do it. And then there's very hard, possible, etc. So if it's hard, it doesn't mean it's impossible. It means you can still be using social media marketing in your organic search words. What that means is when you're writing a blog post or social media content, you'll want to make sure that the phrase social media marketing is worked into your content in a relevant and authentic way. The more you use it in a way that actually makes sense and isn't repetitive, or obviously that you're padding your content with that keyword, then the more likely that the search engines, including Google, will rank you higher. So this also gives you an idea of the monthly search volumes. So social media marketing is searched heavily in, it looks like November and January and March. So the other thing this tool does really well is it shows you other suggested keyword phrases that are related to the phrase that you typed in. Also, it will show you who are the top users of the phrase that you typed in. So when you're looking at the top users, you can really identify whether it's worth competing for. So for example, Sprout Social is the top, Wikipedia is there, WordStream, Hootsuite, Forbes, I don't know what this search engine one is, but those other ones are all powerhouses in the social media world. So they would be difficult to compete with because they would definitely have a lot more budget than I do as a small independent social media marketer. So I would want to find a keyword phrase that is not so competitive, unless I had a bunch of budget and wanted to beat them out even just for a short period of time just to get in there, because that's a strategy you can use as well. But overall, for my organic content, my blog posts, I'm going to want to pick a keyword phrase that's a little bit less competitive, but still relevant. So I had looked through my list. For me, a smaller social media marketing company, 311 searches per month is pretty good. And a difficulty score of 43 is good, and a competitive rate of cost per click 426 is pretty good. So social media agency would be actually a keyword phrase that I should try. And look, even when I clicked on it, it said it's still easy. So it changed the difficulty level. So then I can look through the months and go, okay, in December or anytime from February till May are good times to post content with the phrase social media agency. So I can use that social media agency and create blog posts about it. But what kind of a blog post should I create? Well, this is where I would actually go to Google and I start typing in social media agency. And actually, I'll do it again so you can see it. Social media agency. If I start typing that in, I get a bunch of autofills. But if I want to ask a question, I was just going to add in like a how, a why, or a what. And you can see that it already autofills a question. So these are questions that other people are frequently typing into Google. So I could look at them like how to start a social media agency. What does a social media agency do? So that one might be something that's relevant to my business and would help people decide to hire me if I popped up with an answer for that. Best social media agency, that one's more difficult because I can't really tout myself as a best social media agency. That just looks bad. So I wouldn't use that one. But I would use maybe if I click on what does a social media agency do and then click back into the search, then there's a bunch of other questions that will come up. What do social media marketing companies do? Why hire a social media agency? So these are all questions people are asking that I can then turn into a blog post. And you can see who else is writing those answers to those same questions and where they're showing up and try to compete with that. And then there's always the searches related to. Definitely check out that because that'll give you some other ideas of blog content or social media content that you'll want to include using those keyword phrases.